Welcome everybody to a look at blook'hood. This was provided by Press Key from the developer, and it's an interesting take on, I think, city building and resource management design. From what I played, the game definitely falls more on the breadth side of things rather than depth, but it's an interesting case of, it's really hard to explain too, by the way, of trying to combine these different elements together. It's more or less a free-form city builder, or a sandbox city builder, in the same sense as the sadly ill-fated SimCity societies, where it's not about you building everything on the map, but building what you want to basically define your city, or in this case, your hood. Now, the game's been in development for a while now. They recently released a story mode, which basically acts as a pseudo-tutorial, besides of course having tutorial options here. There's also sandbox mode. You can create your own world. You can basically turn on management or just keep it freeform. And then there are challenges to the game, as you can see, in varying difficulties. Venti difficulty doesn't sound all that good, at least not for me. And we'll start with an easy challenge, and then we'll do a little bit of sandbox, just to show the game off. So while waiting for things to load, the name of the game is all about managing resources, input and output. What's being produced by your hood, and what's being consumed by it. And the blocks that you build will define the people who work there. And there are a lot, and I mean a lot of different resources to manage. But it's all done very streamlined. Thank you. So, here we have this is the basic tutorial as it stands. And the rules of the game is we can place different blocks down that will perform different tasks anywhere where there is nothing, and we can build on top as well. Most blocks will require a connection to a road or to an empty space, and there is a lot here. And now if I pull up the resources, if I click the right button, of course, this shows what we have right now. Now, this is unusual. Normally we'll have a list basically down to here. But for this basic tutorial, they just want us to produce water. So how it works is a building will take in inputs and then produce out something. So right now we are not making any money. So do we have anything here? And as you play, there are more buildings and such. So as you can see, there is a lot here. Now I'm trying to see if there's anything that will let me use groundwater. No. So that will make gray water. That looks like it will work. We'll produce electricity. Need fresh air. Again, the game is really all about making things as, I guess, abstracted as possible. So we have electricity coming in. I need leisure and fresh air if I want an apartment. So I'm going to make a small apartment here. And the idea is I really want to get some gray water coming. Here's some free energy. We don't want to use water. And if we want to check on something, we click down here. So, because we don't have fresh air or leisure, nothing's getting produced. Water is still coming in. When it flashes like that, that tells us that something is being worked on. Oh, day and night. So how do we get more leisure? I don't think that's going to work. And we're almost out of money. There seems to be a way to cancel out of selecting something. You have to switch to another command. So we don't have any more water, or we don't have any more money. Is there any way to produce groundwater? There it is. So I'm going to place this. This will take the water that we've made, and it will now create groundwater for the land around us. The groundwater will be used by this to produce leisure. The groundwater will also create fresh air, which will let us apartment go in, and then the apartment will make the gray water, which I can then use to basically filter out to make more water. Yeah, actually, let's start back up again and we can see this in action. So, sprinkler makes groundwater. We'll make the cheapest way to get power is probably the solar panel. Yep. And I do need some basic water to get going. And it doesn't matter, for the most part, where you place structures. There are synergy bonuses for placing similar structures together. So if I do this, we should get a bonus. It may actually be only certain structures, too. Now, one thing I hope you know is that the UI makes it a little bit tricky to follow things. Like, when I'm building stuff over here, it doesn't tell me how much I have, so I have to constantly keep this open. So right now, that's going to make electricity, that's making the groundwater. I'll make a tree here. That will make the leisure that we need. And they have to be connected to either outside or to a square that's connected to the outside in order for things to work. So I will build you right here. And now, if we click on this, it has everything that it needs, so it's going to produce the labor, the water, the waste, and consumer, which will now all pop up over here. So this will produce youth. Oop. Sounds like someone's doing some work outside just as I started talking, too. So we need money to fund all this. So, this is producing consumers. But we need more consumers to do that. I'm not sure why it's not producing anything here. But while we're waiting, we'll get another solar panel up. There's the synergy bonus. Now will that do the trick? There we go, it's finally producing. So we have consumers, we have money coming in. Will this work? But we need more electricity. Oh geez, sounds like they're finally leaving. We'll get another synergy bonus here. But the problem, of course, it's solar. So let me... There we go. We now have a consumer. Will show up. And the game is just all about managing our resources. So this is producing the water. It's producing gray water, which is bad. Now let me get another... Do we have enough groundwater? Yes. Get that synergy going. And now everything's in the green. Of course, we don't want gray water. We want to consume that and produce algae. And more water as well. Now the rules also allow us to build structures on top of each other if they are buildings. Now if I had access to a elevator, we could actually build a second level and just go up and up and up. We can also speed up our time. So we click on this. So it looks like we need more consumers. And obviously there is one simple way to solve that. We have the water, we have electricity, we have fresh air. Let's build a large. Now of course all these people are taking away our leisure, so we need to build more. What gives us leisure? We'll build a tree. And basically, the whole idea of blockhood is building interdependent or intercodependent blocks that will work off of each other to produce more. Now, the thing about the game is, if we're in the sandbox mode, which we'll get to in a few minutes, it's not about you building everything. As you can see, there are a lot of blocks that we have access to, but it comes down to more of what you want to do. Do you want to build a thriving utopia? Do you want to build some kind of cyberpunk future where the elites are at the top and the dregs are at the bottom? Do you want to go into, building a perfect place for nature to live? It's basically all up to you. So right now we have a ton of gray water. So what I'm going to do is we're going to build an algae farm. So what's going to happen is our gray water is going to start to decline quite nicely, and we're going to get a lot more pure water. Now we have inorganic and organic waste growing, which is not good either, but we don't have the means of getting rid of it just yet. If we want to produce more money, we would build another corner store. And you can tell that the designers spent a lot of time just trying to think about how everything is connected to everything else. So we have the money, it looks like. Now here's one problem. It says it inputs 2 money, but it's not showing me what the rate changes are. And I think that would help out more. So if I build this right here, my money went down the rate, but it's not showing me like it would be a lot easier to show me over here so I can make these decisions. Now, one nice touch is that if you need money, you can click on the resource and it will show up over here what takes money and what gives money. That way it makes it a lot easier because, again, there are a ton of resources to manage. So right now, this challenge should basically be won. It's just a matter of time. And the blue input right there is an optional input that it will run without it, but it will do more if you have that resource. So I'm going to build a second one right here. We will fast forward. Oh, and one other thing. You can come over here and you can see the rate things are decaying, rate things are being produced. And the access data is very important because it shows you if a building is not accessible and therefore will not work. Okay, we're doing good here. So at this point, I'm just going to speed things up, and we should have this one in like the next 10 seconds. There we go. Yay, we did it. And as you can see, there's a lot more to do, but we won't be doing all that here today. So let's load up the sandbox. So this just basically you can create an entire world. That's pretty impressive. But for the sake of us not spending 10, 20 hours playing this, we'll just go with making one hood. We'll spend about, I think, 10, 15 minutes on it, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. So, if we pause, there we go. You can see we now have everything unlocked. And it can be a little bit overwhelming. But the thing you have to understand is that most blocks will take something in and produce something out. And again, it's all about making that the dependency going. So if we come over here, there is a lot that we can work with. So in the last one, you saw that we didn't have greenhouse gases. We could produce them here and then boost the algae farm that way. Now, right now, if I click on the right resource, of course, we just have money and a whole lot of groundwater. And as you build the various blocks, different kinds of people or agents will be produced here, from animals, workers, hipsters, drunks, you name it. They will come to live in your little hood. So let's see. So once again, we need water. Let me get an oak tree. That'll get some leisure. This time we're just going to go straight for the windmill. And yeah, when you're playing this game, you really do have to keep the resource panel open at all times, so you can see what's making what and what you're needing. And a lot of these blocks are designed around basically fixing a situation. So if people get sick, you build a clinic to reduce sickness. Okay, do I have what we need? No, we need water. We'll build a water well since we have a ton of groundwater. Now that will start to work. Oh, we have some birds joining us. And once that's done being produced, there we go. We can now get some apartments. 1112. Alright, so this produces more labors. Alright. And I'll show off how you build up as well in a second. Alright, once they've moved in, where is my elevator? There it is. Then there are buildings that require knowledge. And it can be a little bit overwhelming, I think. But if you go through the tutorials, they should give you enough of what you need to keep going. So they're going to move in. We have consumers being constructed, or created, or however we want to spin it. So we could do a barber shop. We have a greenhouse. So I will build a corner store. That will get us to spend the money, or create money. But we are losing consumers. So what I will do just to show it off is we will build another level. So to do that, we have to use an elevator. Now we can build out like that. And we want to, we can use this to slice down, so we're only seeing one level. And again, that's being produced. People are up there. We are running out of electricity and fresh air, though. That gives us fruits. That looks good. Build another windmill. Now we will have to eventually do something about our groundwater, unless it starts raining. We have plenty of, we can make some fertilizer. Pesticides. And a lot of buildings will produce something bad in order to balance them out, which you will then have to deal with. Now, do we have any people in our, we have Mark. So we want Mark to be happy. He likes technology and bread. Doesn't want risk or sickness. But as more people will move in, we'll get more showing up. So if we want to use an art gallery, let's pop this back over here. And we click on this, so these require leisure. Let's build a yoga studio. And there we go. Now, of course, we are using up our community. So we should probably get some more. Low-income housing. We could build an internet cafe. Oh, we have a yogi now living here. What else would help us with community, huh? We go for bread. Make some knowledge. Yeah. A barber shop. People need to get their hair cut, right? we can build... Now that's obviously not connected to anything, so we will need to adjust. Oop. It can be a little tricky when you're trying to organize this. Come on. And if you mess up, you can delete a block as well. Don't know why it's not building there. But we can click that. I will delete that tree in the name of progress. There we go. Now they're connected. Well, of course, now we don't have water and fresh air. Oh, good, it's raining. That will help out quite nicely. All of our humans are taking our fresh air. We need more electricity. And let's see here. There we go. So, if we want to make our people happy, he wants vegetables and fitness. Well, he hates consumers and gray water. We're not going to make him happy no matter what we do. Let's make some bread, and then I think we'll wrap things up. So I'm going to pause. So if we come over here, where is the bakery? As you can see, there are a whole lot of buildings here. There it is. So the bakery takes in wheat and puts out bread. So if we want to get that, water well, gas, rice field, that doesn't help us. So here's wheat. We have fertilizer. Let me push that right here. That will produce the wheat. We need more community again. Someone coming in here yet? Where is it? Yeah, they're coming in. So that's going to produce the wheat. And then with the wheat, now if I can find the bakery again. Plastic bar bakery. We'll eventually get some bread. Speed things up, of course. We can build additional wheat fields. A fish farm we could do as well. Now we have organic waste growing and growing. So we could use some of that to make fish. Our water is still good. But, once again though, we still need more communities. If we had fish, we could do that. We're running out of consumers. If we had beer, we could build more community that way. The cafe will start working. We have a barber shop. We don't have eggs. Huh. If we had youth, we could build a school. A noodle stall, could build that. We have culture, so let's build this. That'll get us some more consumers. Butcher shop, shack. Get over there. And of course, more money. Alright, do we have bread? Oh, we now have food handlers in our city. Or in our hood, I should say. The bakery is working. People will... Eventually, once we have enough bread, our friend Mark here will be very happy. Well, Anna here likes internet and meat. That's a really good combination there. And that is basically blook'hood in a nutshell. If you're going for a sandbox, it's just basically build whatever you want and try to keep everything working or let it fall to ruin. And there's a lot to unlock here. And you just do that. You can unlock beekeepers, ballerinas, and so much more. And like I said, it's not the deepest city builder out there. As you can see, it's more about just managing resources. You know, essentially taking money from Peter to pay Paul, in a matter of speaking. But if you enjoy what you saw here, it is currently available on Steam. And I do like it, and maybe I will try going through more of the challenges, because I always like having that kind of setup. As you can see, the UI can be a little bit cumbersome, mainly relying on the buttons down here unless you know the shortcuts. I would like it to be a little bit easier to read in terms of just what exactly I have before I make these changes. And once again, if you need help with the game, definitely run through the tutorial, and the story mode will basically give you the starting gist of what this is all about. But otherwise, that's going to do it. If you want to see more plays of blook'hood, either recorded or on a stream sometime, please let me know below. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you're new, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and check back daily for more great discussions on game design here, and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games. Until then, have a great day. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy it, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and of course share with your friends. It always helps out. For daily posts on all manner of game design and industry topics, check out game-wisdom.com. To support the site and everything that I do, be sure to check out the Patreon campaign. If we can hit goals, it will mean more content for everyone to enjoy, and I'll be able to support myself and my household. If you want to follow me, you can find me on Twitter at GW for updates throughout the day and random thoughts from me. And lastly, you can find me on Twitch right over there at GW for daily streams most nights around 10 Eastern. Thanks again for watching the video, and be sure to check out more great content coming to the Game Wisdom channel real soon.